just moving away from this talk now and looking more at Ben Eubank. You mentioned about how big the fight is. Do you feel the fight is even bigger now than what it was when it first got made 2 years ago, where it sold out
Yeah, because of
locally
the
in record time?
controversy, the build-up would be brilliant. The build-up would be brilliant. So yeah, it's a massive fight. It's a massive fight, and it's no good me just saying, "Oh, it's this massive fight." Like you will see it if it
Mm.
happens. People will be captivated in watching it.
Do you feel it's a fight? Obviously, I know there's always the big talk, obviously, with Riyadh season now and making sure the UK market stays alive. Do you feel this is a fight that has to happen on UK shores?
Um, I just want to see the fight. I mean, listen, ideally, yeah, we'd like to see the fight in the UK at a big football stadium. But if it happens in Riyadh, then let's just be grateful these type of fights are happening. That's the way I look at it as a boxing fan. I just think that do you want it to happen like as long as we can watch it and these fights are getting made, we
Yeah.
have to like everyone can say, oh yeah, he's kissing up to the no. We would not get these types of fights and these Riyadh season cards if what Turk Al Sheikh, if he wasn't here, these big better be a Bivol, top rank and Eddie, like it's not these fights just wouldn't have happened. So going back to your question, I'm not going to say go around the houses. If it happens in the UK, then amazing, because it'll be an unbelievable event. But if it happens over there, then it is what it is. Great, who cares?
Do you feel Conor Benn is going to have to make that jump to middleweight to make this fight
Yeah,
happen
he
now?
is. He will. He will. I know that for a fact. The fight will be at 160.
And how do you feel the fight plays out if it is 160?
I think Conor Benn beat him.
How easily?
Younger, fresher. Eubank's in it for money. Eubank's solely in boxing for money. Like I'm not saying the other fights aren't, because listen, it's prize fighting, but Eubank now is just solely money, money, money. Like you can see him. He's not going to have an in between fight. He's either going to fight someone terrible or he's going to fight big fights only. Do you understand what I mean? It's not going to be. It's either gimme fights or massive fights for Eubank. That's why he turned down 5 million to fight Hamza Sheeraz.
What do you make of that from Chris Eubank Jr.?
Just don't
Obviously,
want to fight Hamza Sheeraz when you can fight Conor Benn for probably triple that, double, definitely double. So
mm,
why are you going to fight a contender like Hamza Sheeraz, who can punch like a horse kick, who's massive at the weight, will almost certainly knock Eubank out? Or I would fancy Hamza Sheeraz massive in that fight. Or do you fight a welterweight that's not boxed, that's not like really boxed for 2 years? I know he's had a couple of fights, but it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
and just moving on.
You can't knock Eubank. Like it's sensible business. It's sensible. Like if I was looking after Eubank, I'd be like, Conor Benn, yes please. Hamza Sheeraz, woo, no thank you.
And just looking at the main event on Saturday, obviously a fight that if you know your boxing, you knew that was the best fight in boxing right now.
Amazing fight, and it lived up to it. From the first bell to the last bell. Unbelievable contest. That's what we want to see, isn't it? Two guys at the highest level, at the absolute primes of their careers, fighting each other. It was brilliant. Like I say, I had Bivol winning, but no problem if you had Beterbiev winning it by a round or two.
Do you feel it's one of those fights that no matter how many times they fight, it'll be that close and it could be a
Yeah,
different outcome every
yeah,
time?
yeah. I think it would be a brilliant fight every single time. Like, listen, Beterbiev might get in there next time and completely demolish Bivol, or Bivol could just get on his back foot, ping him for 12 rounds, and win by a landslide. I don't know, you don't know, but that fight there, I think those two styles will always gel well into a great fight.
And then I think when you look at the fight, one thing that was so highly spoken about beforehand was people not able to decide who wins. I kept seeing it on your Twitter. There was
Oh man, I change
every
my
other
mind every
day.
minute. Bivol points, and then I finally went with Beterbiev. Um, it's just I've never thought about a fight like that and thinking, oh, who's gonna win that? Like I've never been so undecided on a fight. So
Do you feel we've got any more clarity on that, or do you feel even when they make the rematch, it's still going to be just the
I
same
would I
instead of
would go through the same problem again.
do you feel we could ever get a definitive answer, or do you reckon?
Don't know. Like I say, Beterbiev has to get old at some point.
True.
39, he's 40 soon. Like he's got to get old sooner or later. And then Bivol's still relatively young, so I would probably go Bivol again on points. Like I know I ended up with no, I didn't. I ended up Beterbiev TKO. I would probably go Bivol, and then again when I start seeing Beterbiev do that fucking thing with his wrist that he was doing in the
Oh yeah.
changing room and on the ring, I'd probably pick Beterbiev again 5 minutes before the fight started.
And then just one last thing, just going back onto the Ben Wakes thing, just something that's popped into my head. There's been a lot of talk about obviously Ben taking that easy way out. When people are watching back the clip, they're saying that he's
That's
slung
their
himself
opinions,
back.
though. That's their opinions. It's very, very difficult, and it's like to say, like everyone's entitled to their opinions, right?
Yeah.
Like to say, but it's very, very difficult to call a boxer, someone who gets in there, risking their life, that they've quit or they've got an easy way. That's why I won't. I would never. I'm not accusing Ben of that in any shape. Like if he's injured, he's injured. But the result of the fight was lucky for Ben. It was lucky because the fight, in my opinion, was heading the tide was completely heading the wrong way for him.
And then just quickly, Fabio Wardley, obviously we've already briefly spoke about the fight. But the future for him now, I think he's only one win away from winning the British outright, but at the same time we know that he wants to step onto world level now.
Yeah, listen, good luck to Fabio. I mean, there's still some great domestic fights for him to be involved in, and he's making great money. So I think he'll only jump to world level if the opponent's correct. If the opponent's correct. But listen, good luck to him. He's come from a white collar background. He's done unbelievable, Fabio. Unbelievable. So if he chooses to get rid of the British title and go on throw hands with Joe Parker or someone in the top five, then good luck to him. Good luck to him.
Do you feel like if you were to choose the ideal opponent from next, I've seen names like Jermaine Franklin, Otto Wallin,
Yeah, but
Cassie
what does
said,
that mean? What that doesn't get me excited, honestly. For Fabio Wardley, it doesn't get me excited. I mean, I know. Listen, Johnny Fisher is not done what Fabio's achieved. He's got a much bigger profile than Fabio, by the way. He's a much
mm,
bigger name than Fabio. But I heard his manager, I don't know his name, the Fabio's manager say, "Oh, he's way past Johnny Fisher." Yeah, I agree with that. Like in what he's achieved for sure.
mm.
But Johnny Fisher's a much bigger name than Fabio. And then they're the fights that Johnny wants to be involved in eventually. But Johnny's got to earn his stripes. And then those fights will eventually happen. Like Sol Dakers, there's a Sol Dakers fight there for Fabio, and he'll earn great money. But I'd much rather see him fight Solomon Dakers than I would watch him fight Otto Wallin, Fabio, because I just think it's unless he's going in there and he's going to fight, I don't know, Dillian White. I know he's managed by Dillian, but like that fight would be exciting. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
That fight for me would be like, wow, well, I'm invested in this.
One fight that I put out on my Twitter was Fabio Wardley versus Joe Joyce, possibly. What would you make of that?
Listen, I have my opinions on the situation with Joe. I mean, listen, Joe in his prime beats Fabio Wardley. Like Joe of a few years back, but now look, Fabio's younger, fresher. Like I wouldn't really want to see that fight for personal reasons, but who knows? It's a business, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Fair enough.